Alrighty, everybody, welcome into No Such Time Domain, and today we're reading through Ezekiel 35 and 36. So let's just get into it, and then I'll break everything down for you guys what I think it means. There's all different meanings to this, so I've been trying to break it down the best way possible so you guys can see exactly what I mean. So let's just get into it, though. A prophecy, a prophecy against Edom, chapter 35. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, set your face against Mount Seir, prophesy against it, and say, This is what the sovereign Lord says: I am against you, Mount Seir, and I will stretch out my hand against you, and you will make you a desolate waste. I will turn your town into ruins, and you will be desolate. Then you will know that I am the Lord, because you harbored an ancient hostility and delivered the Israelites over to the sword at the time of their calamity, the time their punishment reached its climax. Therefore, this is as surely as I live, declares the sovereign Lord, I will give you over to bloodshed, and it will pursue you. Since you did not hate bloodshed, bloodshed will pursue you. I will make Mount Seir a desolate waste, and cut off from it all who come and go. I will fill your mountains with slain. Those killed by the sword will fall on your hills, and in your valleys and in your ravines. I will make you desolate forever. Your towns will not be inhabited. Then you will know that I am the Lord, because you have said, These two nations and countries will be ours, and we will take possession of them, even though I, the Lord, was there. Therefore, as surely as I live, declares the sovereign Lord, I will treat you in accordance with the anger and jealousy you showed in your hatred of them, and I will make myself known among them when I judge you. Then you will know that I, the Lord, have heard all the contemplate all the contemplatable things you have said against the mountains of Israel. You said they have been laid waste and have been given over to us to devour. You boasted against me and spoke against me. Restraint, and I heard it. This is what the sovereign Lord says. While the whole earth rejoices, I will make you desolate, because you rejoiced when the inheritance of Israel became desolate. That is how I will treat you. You will be desolate, Mount Seir, you and all of Edom. Then you will know that I am the Lord. So basically, he's gonna take what they said, and he's just gonna use everything against them because they've spoke so badly about the Lord that in reverse they're getting condemned by the Lord because they kept speaking badly about him. Example. Um, I think I talked about this before. I know I have talked about this before, but there are moments where if you mock the Lord or something along the lines of that, if you mock him, you definitely see the outcome later on after you've mocked him enough, and scoffed at the Lord enough that you basically get made to look like a subject of what the Lord is about. And that's what he's talking about right here. So, all right, chapter 36. Hope of mountains of Israel. 36. Son of man, prophesy against the mountains of Israel and say, Mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says. The enemy said of you, Aha, the ancient heights have become our possession. Therefore prophesy and say, This is what the sovereign Lord says. Because you ravaged and crushed you from every side, so that you became the possession of the rest of the nations, and a subject of people's malicious talk and slander. Therefore, mountains of Israel, hear the word the sovereign Lord of the sovereign Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says. To mountains and hills, to the ravines and valley, to desolate ruin and desert towns that have been plundered and ridiculed by the rest of the nations around you, this is what the sovereign Lord says. In my burning zeal, I have spoken against the rest of the nations and against all of Edom, with for uh for with glee and with malice. Their hearts they made the land their own possession, so that they might plunder its pasture land. Therefore prophesy concerning the land of Israel, and say to the mountains and hills of the ravine and valley, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I speak in jealousy, wrath, because you suffered the scorn of the nations. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I swear with uplifted hand that the nations around you will also suffer scorn. But you, mountains of Israel, will produce branches and fruit. For my people, Israel, for they will soon come. I am concerned for you and will look on you with favor. You will be plowed and sown, and I will cause many people to live on you. Yes, all of Israel, the towns will be inhabited, and the ruins rebuilt. I will increase the number of people and animals living on you, and they will be fruitful and become numerous. I will settle people on you as the past, and will make you prosper more than before. Then you will know that I am the Lord. I will cause my people Israel to live on you. They will possess you, and you will be their inheritance. You will never again deprave them of their children. This is what the sovereign Lord says, because some say to you, you devour people and deprave your nations of his children. Therefore you will no longer devour people or make nations childless, declares the sovereign Lord. No longer will I make you hear the taunts of the nation, and no longer will you suffer the scorn of the people, or cause your nations to fall, declares the sovereign Lord. So he's just talking, he's saying basically, he's going to send people in to take over the land, foreigners pretty much, to take over the land, because they defiled the Lord's name so many ways, and they're not going to deprave people from not having children and stuff like that. That's basically what he's saying here, and we see a lot of that today, where people are yeah, there's if you look at the way everything is in politics and news, you see a lot of this. You see a lot of these people um changing their gender so they can fit. Sorry, fly. So they can fit the agenda of somebody else, a group of people, and it's just wild when it comes down to it. But we're seeing people get depraved of having children anymore because of how everything's going. Like we're seeing a lot of stuff go on that the Lord probably doesn't like, but it's happening, and it's unfortunate. And even here we see it. We hear it in this section right here we just read. Um, you know, he's he's saying he's sending people in now to take over the land, to change it. As for as for America, I don't really know the situation behind what God's doing to us, but there's situations going on where it's getting bad, it's getting worse and worse, and God gave us free will, yes, but God also wants us to follow within His range, and follow His word and follow what He has to say. So we have to remember to follow the Lord and not follow what somebody else is telling us. An average human being could say something to us, and the Lord might not like what the human being's telling him. But there's human beings out there that want so much power that they do awful stuff to get power. And the Lord's not going to keep congratulating that. After a while, the Lord's going to punish that person. So just remember, all the stuff you do, it does add up to a certain point, and there's an outcome that will come later on down the line that you might not like, you know. And I go by the quote at the beginning of the Bible, one of the quotes at the beginning of the Bible, that I'm well aware of now and how it all works. But the quote goes, I will bless those that bless you, I will curse those that curse you, and I will make you into a great nation. Meaning, you know, uh, the God, if God's gonna bless you if people keep, God's gonna bless the people that bless you. He's gonna put the people through trial and error and all sorts of hellfire if they curse you. And I too have been the witness of these things. And people are like, people are people are so confused about how it happens and what the rule is. But the rule is just like any other belief. But for us that follow Christianity and stuff like that, it's God that's doing all of it. It's God that's teaching all these lessons. It's God that's like saying, "Hey, you know what? Quit being a jerk to somebody. I'm about to do something to you because you're just a jerk to somebody." And that stuff's real. So you better, if you're having trouble believing it, there's gonna be a moment in your life where you're gonna be like, "Well, why'd this impact happen to me? Why'd this all happen to me?" It's because you were being nasty to somebody. You need to understand that God didn't like what you were doing to somebody. You know, be nice to people, but don't. If somebody's being a jerk to you, yeah, stand your ground, but also let God stand your ground. Uh, Trust me. All right. So we're gonna continue on with Israel's restoration assured. All right. Again, the word of the Lord came to me, Son of man. When the people of Israel were living in their own land, they defiled it by their conduct of their actions. Their conduct was like a woman's monthly uncleanness in my sight. So I poured out my wrath on them because they had shed blood in the land before, because they had defiled their own idols. I dispersed them among the nations, and they were scattered through the countries. I judged them according to their conduct and their actions. And wherever they went among the nations, they profaned my holy name. For it was said of them, these are the Lord's people, and yet they had to leave his land. I had concern for my holy name, which the people of Israel profaned among the nations, where they had gone. Therefore say to the Israelites, this is what the sovereign Lord says. It is not for the sake of, not for the sake, your sake, people of Israel, that I am going to do these things, but for the sake of my holy name, which you profaned among the nations. Where you have gone, I will show you holiness of my great name, which has been profaned among the nations. The name you have profaned among them, then the nations will know that I am the Lord, declares the sovereign Lord. When I am proved holy through you before their eyes, for I will take you out of the nations, I will gather you from all the countries, and bring you back into your own land. I will sprinkle clean water on you, and you will be clean. I will cleanse you of all your impurities and from all your idols. I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove you I will remove you from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit in you and move you to follow my decrees and be careful to keep my laws. Then you will live in the land I gave your ancestors. You will be my people. I will be your God. I will save you from all your uncleanness. I will call for the grain and make the plentiful, and I will bring famine upon you. I will increase the fruit of the trees and the crops of the field, so that you will no longer suffer disgrace among the nations because of famine. You will remember your evil ways and your wicked deeds, and you will loathe yourselves of your sin and detestable practices. I want you to know that I am doing this for your sake, declares the sovereign Lord. Be ashamed and disgrace for your conduct, people of Israel. This is what the sovereign Lord says. On a day I cleanse you from all your sins. I will resettle your towns, and the ruins will be rebuilt. The desolate land will be cultivated instead of lying desolate in the sight of all who pass through it. They will say, this land that was laid waste has become like a garden of Eden. The cities that were lying in ruin, desolate and destroyed, are now fortified and habited. Then the nations around you that remain will know that I, the Lord, rebuilt what was destroyed and replanted what was desolate. I, the Lord, have spoken, and I will do it. This is what the sovereign Lord says. Once again, I will yield to Israel, plea, and do this for them. I will make their people numerous as sheep, as numerous as the flocks, for offering Jerusalem during her appointed festivals. So will the ruined cities be filled with flocks of people. Then they will know that I am the Lord. So basically, he's saying the same thing there. Like he's basically explaining what he's going to do to the entire land. And that these people aren't exactly treating the Lord with the respect he deserves. So that's why he's planning on doing it. So yes, that's what I got from this. Then well, he's talking about restoring the land. Sorry, my fault. He's talking about restoring the land. The title even says it. But he wants to restore the land after it's been desolated and destroyed, and and people are doing damage to the land that the Lord is going to restore eventually, and he's gonna bring so many nice things into it after after he restores it because of the way things have been going. This whole book, if you've been paying attention, it's all talking about how everything's going to get destroyed because he doesn't like it, but it's going to change and get better after a while. And you know, I'm sure if we started to, we started actually listening to the Lord a lot better, the land would get better and prosper. And that's something that really should be, we should, you know, people should really think about listening to the Lord, but I can't force it. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, pretty much. And so, yeah, I think that's about it for me today. So if I'll be back tomorrow with more. We don't have too much more to go. But anyway, I'll be seeing you guys next time. Take it easy and God bless you, and I'll be seeing you next time.